Welcome to a new video. In this video, let us see how to program a single LED apart from the LEDs which are connected to port P1. We are going to program only one LED. We are not going to program the rest of the LED. So how can we do that is with the help of a keyword. That keyword is called as SBIT. Okay, so first let us create a new file. Hash include, we know what is the logic. Hash include a register file dot h reg51.h. this is called as the header file of 8051. That's why they give registers 51.h. then next main method, and in the main method so in this you can, as I said, let us save the file first. So first go to file and then save. It is e4.c. okay, so now I want to give a name to my LED. So I cannot directly write with the help of like P1, P1.0, 1.1, 1.2, so on, 1.7. We cannot directly program LED with name that is associated with that particular pin, that particular port. So what we have to do is we have to give some names like first LED, second LED, third LED, like that. How we will give some names out of 8 LEDs in order to blink one particular LED. So we have to give a name. So that naming can be done with the help of this keyword SBIT. So SBIT is the keyword single bit space. It's a keyword, it's not any other general variable name. So SBIT, after that you have to give the desired name for your LED. So I want to give LED 7. In the previous video we have seen how to program the 7th LED, right? So LED 7 is equal to, okay, or otherwise SLED, single LED is equal to, okay, so SL, simply SL, single LED, SLED, single LED is equal to. So I want to give that particular pin number now. So this LED is connected to 1.7. say for example it is connected to 1.7. so give this cap P1 cap 7 and then put semicolon there. That completes the declaration of the LED whatever you want to program with name SLED. So I would like to call this P1.7 in the program wherever I want with the name SLED. So in the main method, what is the thing you have to remember is always you have to keep while 1. You have to keep always while 1, and in the while 1 you have to write down your program. Okay, so SLED, whatever the name we have given there, I would like to call the same SLED. Use the same case, capital S, capital L, small LED. If you don't want, put all small letters only. But if you write something in the declaration there and then if you write something else here, it will not work. So SLED is equal to simply 0. LED will become on. Okay, then I am going to write a delay of some 50 milliseconds. Okay, some delay of 50. I want to generate some 50 milliseconds, or otherwise go 500 milliseconds, like we have seen in the previous program, 500 milliseconds only. So after writing the delay of 500, again you have to write SLED is equal to 1. For assignment operator you have to use equal to, so need not give any space here, but for the clarity purpose I am using space. So SLED is equal to 0, delay, and then SLED is equal to 1. So I'm copying the same delay how did I do earlier, and then I'm pasting that here again. So this is the delay, it is the transition between 0 to 1, and this is the delay, it is the delay in transition from 1 to 0. Okay, so whenever the LED is becoming off, in from on to off, in between them we have given some delay, from off to again on we have given some delay, so that we can see that, otherwise we cannot see such type of transition. And here if you save this program and if you compile this program, so I forgot to remove the previous program here, so let me remove the previous program and then add this to the project. Okay, so it is added. Now if you compile this program, you will get an error. So what is that error? You read it here. So delay requires a ANSYS style prototype. It is telling that delay missing function prototype. So we got two errors. Okay, I can say that these two are one is warning and other one is error. So what is the warning we got? Missing function prototype is the warning we got, and then requires ANSYS style prototyping. So this delay, of course, how can the system knows? If I say delay of 500 milliseconds means how can it knows? So we have to write this delay, either you can write it here directly, or otherwise you declare it here. That is called function missing prototype. So you declare the delay here, void delay of int itime. Okay, I want to use a delay of some integer. That is what you can see here. You can observe it clearly. I'm writing delay of integer, some number I have given there, that is called itime. So void delay int itime. Say copy the same statement from here and then go to the last statement out of the main method and then paste it, remove the semicolon to that and then write it. So this is called a subroutine, which is called in the main program. Okay, so this is delay is called as a subroutine. I am calling this subroutine in the main program. So let me write down delay. So how can you write it? Same logic, int I comma j for I is equal to 0. Okay, so for I is equal to 0, I less than itime. Here in this case we have itime, right? So I less than itime I plus plus. Whether it is itime could be 500 or 1000 or 50 or 10, whatever it is, it will accept. For j is equal to 0, j less than 1275 j plus plus. Okay, put a semicolon here. That means nothing to execute in this. So as I said, here we are going to get 1 millisecond delay and it is repeated 500 times. So in this program, what is the advantage of writing a program like this is, for loops used are only 2. Okay, and then we are not programming the unnecessary LEDs which you don't like. Okay, you want to write program for only one LED, that LED only you have defined here, and then you are writing a program. And in the delay programming, instead of using 4 for loops, we are using only 2 for loops. So you will be worried, sir, what is the drawback of using more for loops? All those things means that you will come to know in the coming classes. Okay, so for a embedded system programmer, this saving the program memory is very important. So if you use for loops, characters, integers, all these things, so they will take more memory. Okay, so for this is a small program, it is nothing, there will be no issue. So after writing a program like this, now save it and then compile. So again we got some error, here I is missing, so actually I time should be the key character there, and then it is missing there, so we got error. So now I got 0 errors and 0 warnings. Okay, so I made a small mistake. Instead of typing the same name I time, I gave time, so that's why I got error. Okay, so you can see that 0 errors, now 0 warnings are there. And then let us go to debug and then start debug session. So in the debug session, you can see here in the port 1 only one LED will be on. So there is no change in the output whatever you have seen when compared to the previous one with this. But what is happening here is rest of the LEDs are not touched. Okay, these pins are not at all being programmed by us. So these pins are free, they can be used for some other purpose. Okay, and again, for a embedded system programmer, using the hardware efficiently is also a very important thing. Okay, so you have to you should not use unnecessarily all the pins in the programming. So this is how you will write a program for blinking the 7th LED. Now if you don't want 7th LED, if you want only 5th LED, just replace the number 7 with 5. Okay, compile it and then run the program. Okay, now you can see this is the LED 5th LED. But okay, I didn't press this continuous run. Okay, so 5th LED is, I mean the 5 number LED is getting blinked. Actually it is not the 5th, it is from 0 it is 6th, from here onwards it is 6th. So the number, whatever the number that is there on the LED on the pins, that is 5. So I am programming 5 number LED here. Stop it and then go to the 0. LED. Okay, so just click 0, compile and then check the output. Okay, so you should get a doubt, sir, can I program 2 LEDs or can I program 3 LEDs? Can I program all the LEDs using this method? Yes, of course you can do, but it is not a wise decision to program all the LEDs by using keyword S bit. You can directly call P1 in the byte mode, but for programming few LEDs, yeah, you can do that by duplicating this statement, copy, paste and then paste. So this is SLED1, SLED2. Okay, I will do one thing for the simplicity. I will replace, I don't want to replace SLED, it will be as it is like that only. So assume that it is 0. Okay, so 1.0, here I will take 1.7 and here I will take 1.3. okay, so this is the way you want to program. But where is the program here? We are writing only program for SLED, this LED only, P1.0 only we are writing the program. You have to even write this SLED1 and SLED2. So same procedure again. Copy this statement, then paste it, then again paste it. You write down the names 1, 2. Same, how did I do there? You do same thing here. Okay, and similarly here. This is SLED1 and this is SLED2. You have to make them 1. Okay, so this completes programming for both 3 LEDs. Now save it, compile it. For every change you have to compile it, right? So compile it and then after that debug it. So after debugging, the same P1 can be used here, and you can run the program. Only 3 LEDs are getting blinked. Okay, I'm not touching the other LEDs, only 3 LEDs are in use. So this is how you can write a program for blinking the desired LEDs with the help of the keyword SBIT. So we will meet again in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.